Today on Sporting Top 10, you might realize that I don't have a hat on like I usually do. Because today's a special day. It's a special video today. I will be showing you all of my hat collection, which is mainly New Era and some other hat brands. So let's get started. Our first hat that we have today is the Dayton Dragons. Now this is their batting practice hat. The Dayton Dragons are out of Dayton, Ohio, and they are a single A affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds. They are single A long season. They're the upper single A. Our next hat that we have is the Memphis Red Sox. Now the Memphis Red Sox, they were a Negro Leagues baseball team based out of Memphis, Tennessee, back when the Negro Leagues were a thing. Now I got this at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. This hat is by Hat Company. Our next hat that we have is the Seattle Pilots. Now the Seattle Pilots were a classic baseball team that is no longer in existence, but I got this at the New Era headquarters in Buffalo, New York. It's part of a special throwback collection, and this is one of my favorite hats because of the wings on the brim. My next hat is the Buffalo Bison's alternate cap. Now I just like this symbol because I'm from near Buffalo. I'm from Batavia, New York. So this hat hits home for me, as I like just the plain simple baseball with the buffalo in front of it. My next hat that I have is the Frisco Rough Riders. Now the Frisco Rough Riders are located in Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb outside of Dallas, Texas. And they are a AA affiliate out of the Texas League of the Texas Rangers. And this is Teddy Roosevelt on their hat. My next hat is one of my most recently acquired. This is the Trenton Thunder. This is the throwback cap. The Trenton Thunder are a AA affiliate of the New York Yankees. And as you can see, there's a Thunderbird in front of the T in this. This is why I like it. It's a real creative hat. Our next hat that we have is the Auburn Doubledays. Now the Auburn Doubledays are a single A affiliate of the Washington Nationals. They are out of the New York Penn League, located in Auburn, New York. And this is off of Abner Doubleday, which is who allegedly created the game of baseball. Our next hat that we have is a throwback Major League Teams hat. Now this is the Toronto Blue Jays. This symbol is around the 1990s. I think the throwback symbols in Major League Baseball are really cool. Cooler than nowadays. Major League Baseball is kind of bland. They are trying to be more creative with holiday hats and stuff like that. But for now, this is one of my favorite Major League Team hat throwbacks. Our next hat that we have is Puerto Rico. Now this is Puerto Rico from the 2017 World Baseball Classic. This is one of my favorite hats. I just love the color scheme. There it is. Our next hat that we have is the United States hat from the World Baseball Classic. Now of course I had to go and buy a United States hat from the World Baseball Classic because I'm from America. It makes sense. And also I like the design. Our next hat that we have is the AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. This is the Omaha Storm Chasers. Now, the Omaha Storm Chasers are located in Papillion, which is right outside of Omaha, Nebraska. And I just love the design of this hat with the tornado, with the baseball, and the baseball bat going through it. Our next hat that we have is the Quad City River Bandits. Now, the Quad City River Bandits are located in Iowa, and they play in the Midwestern League Single A. Our next hat that we have is the Aberdeen Ironbirds. Now, the Aberdeen Ironbirds are a Single A affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. They are a part of the New York Penn League, and I like how they incorporate the Maryland State flag in this hat. It's very creative. Our next hat that we have is probably one of the most colorful and vibrant hats that I own. Now this is the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp hat, but this is not their main color scheme. This is the Miami Marlins color scheme. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp play in a AA level. Our next hat that we have is the Daytona Tortugas. The Daytona Tortugas are a Single A affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds, and they play in the Florida Coast League. The next hat that I have is probably one of the most wildest hats that I own. Now this is the Round Rock Jackalopes. They're originally known as the Round Rock Express, but they rebranded for an entire weekend as the Round Rock Jackalopes were one of the finalists that was with the Express, but the Express won the bid over the Jackalopes. But they paid honor to this close winner and spent a whole weekend as the Round Rock Jackalopes, and I really just love this hat. It's so crazy. My next hat that I have is my final World Baseball Classic hat. This is Australia, and this is actually from the 2013 World Baseball Classic. You can see because it doesn't have the chrome of the country's flag, it has the stitch part. But I like the basic green in this, so I love this hat. My next hat is another one of the most vibrant collection of hats that I own. This is the Miami Marlins hat, of course. This is from their 2017 Players Weekend, and I just love it because it symbolizes the city so much. It's so colorful with the great oceanic blue. My next hat that I have is the Florida Fire Frogs. Now, the Florida Fire Frogs are out of Kissimmee, Florida, and they are part of the Florida Coast League. Our next hat that we have is the Jackson Generals, located out of Jackson, Tennessee. Now, I just love this hat because this pays patronage to their mascot, Sarge. And I just love the hat because Sarge looks in charge here. My next hat that I have is one of my most recently acquired ones. Now, this is the Hudson Valley Renegades. The Hudson Valley Renegades are located in Wappinger Falls, New York. It's kind of out of the way, but I had to drive there because this hat was on my A-list. I love this hat. My next hat here is the Rochester Plates. Now, the Rochester Plates are known as the Rochester Red Wings, but they rebranded because Rochester, New York is known for its garbage plates for one weekend a year. This is a great hat. I just think it's crazy. And the Rochester Red Wings are AAA, and they are an affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. My next set of hats here, it's an interesting story. I went to Williamsport this summer, and when I went to the gift shop for the Little League World Series, they had all these marked on clearance sale, 5 for $3. Now, I wouldn't buy these if they were regular price because, they're kind of simple, but I do like some color schemes, so I bought these. So this is Latin America. Next, we have Asia Pacific from Seoul, South Korea. Then we have Midwest from the United States. Then we have Europe, Africa. And my last one we have is the Western Division from the United States. Now, this is a curved dad hat, so I usually like wearing these backwards. They just look better. Our next hat that we have is the Charlotte Knights. Now, I like this hat because it's a military tribute, and I think it works well with the gold. The Charlotte Knights are a AAA affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. Our next hat that we have is the Arkansas Travelers. Now, this hat has a great story behind it. The possum on this hat is named Odie. Now, Odie is named after longtime Arkansas Travelers groundskeeper who always used to find possums in the stadium when he was cleaning up around there. So they decided to have another mascot along with their horse, and they named him Odie. Next up, we have the Bowling Green Hot Rods. Now, I'll be honest, this isn't one of my favorite hats, but I did get this on a deal, and I do kind of like it because it's with a wheel and a baseball, so it just kind of looks cool. Now, our next hat is now officially deemed a classic, as this is the New Orleans Zephyrs, but now they are known as the New Orleans Baby Cakes. The New Orleans Baby Cakes are a AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins, but I just love this hat because my last name begins with a Z, and I love the color scheme and the fleur-de-lis on this. Next up, we have the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. Now, I love this hat because it just looks tough. With the growl of the bulldog on this, the Mahoning Valley Scrappers are a single-A affiliate of the Cleveland Indians and play in the New York Penn League. Our next hat that we have is a AA affiliate of the Rockies, and personally is one of my favorite hats of all time. This is the Hartford Yard Goats out of Hartford, Connecticut. They have kind of a similar color scheme to the Hartford Whalers hockey team that moved out years ago. Next up is another tough, hard-looking hat. We have the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. The Binghamton Rumble Ponies are a AA affiliate of the New York Mets. Fun fact, Tim Tebow plays for them. Now, they named themselves the Rumble Ponies a couple years ago because they wanted to pay patronage to the carousel business that was once booming in Binghamton, New York. Fun fact, Binghamton, New York is where the first Dick's Sporting Goods is located. Next up, we have the Pawtucket Red Sox from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Now, I just love this symbol because I love the polar bear. It looks kind of mean, but then kind of cute at the same time, so it kind of balances itself out. And then we have a nice navy blue with a nice light blue. The Pawtucket Red Sox are a AAA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. Our next hat that we have, I think this is my only double of one team. Now, this is another hat by the Auburn Doubledays, and my grandpa bought this for me, so it's very close to me. So, I like this hat just because it has nostalgic purpose. It's kind of back in the early 2000s when they were good, along with my Batavia Mutt Dogs, but there it is. My next hat is the hat that started this whole collection. This is the Portland Sea Dogs, and they're a AA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. My next hat is the classic Montreal Expos. Now, of course, the Montreal Expos are no longer in existence as they moved to Tampa Bay, but still, merchandise is being sold all across this nation because everybody loves the nostalgic purposes of the Montreal Expos. My next hat that I have is the Cleveland Indians. Now, this Indian, Chief Wahoo, was banned from any Cleveland Indians merchandise use because it was deemed offensive to the Native American community. But this is still a classic. This could be worth something someday, so I'm going to keep my hands on it. This hat I'm included in this video because it's just a wild hat. This is the Arizona State Sun Devils, and I just love the Sun Devil symbol. I love the Sun Devils name in general. The Sun Devils name means something Arizona, where a lot of high school teams and college teams across the nation just name themselves traditional Blue Devils, and it's kind of boring. But I love this hat, and mainly because of this wicked underbrim. Next up is my classic Milwaukee Brewers cap that they actually brought back is now a present-day symbol because it has such backing from the fan base. Now, this is a baseball glove, but if you can't see it, there is supposed to be an M and a B here, symbolizing the baseball glove for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. Next hat that I've owned for a long time. This is from the Caribbean baseball team from the 2013 Little League World Series. So I've had this for a while, and I just wanted to include this in this video. Let me quick. All right, now my brief NBA collection. This is the Denver Nuggets. This is their classic hat from years ago, but I love this hat. Next up, we have my favorite NBA team, the Orlando Magic. Now, I know, they're trash, but I gotta stick with my team. And my last hat hits home for me, this is my hometown Batavia Mutt Dogs. Now, the Batavia Mutt Dogs, just a heads up, might not be in existence for much longer as ownership is threatening to move the team to some other location, but for right now, go Mutt Dogs. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Sporting Top 10. Now, I will keep you posted on the new hats I obtain throughout time.